Hi everybody, Keith Schweigert here for the Huddle. I'm giving you my rundown of Week 5 of the Lancaster-Lebanon League football season. In the first video, I talked to you about the spotlight game for this week between Lebanon and Mannheim Central. As you know, I picked the Barons in that one. Let's go through our lightning round here and run down the other games on the docket. We'll stay in Section 2, and the other Section 2 co-leader, Cocalico. The Eagles go down to Quarryville to take on Solanco this week. And as you know, the Cocalico and Mannheim Central will show down for what could determine the league or the Section 2 championship in Week 6. So both these teams have some tune-up games. Cocalico goes to Solanco. The Eagles, in this one, they have the league's second best offense. They're averaging 413.8 yards per game, and their 204 points that they've scored in 4 weeks. That leads the league as well. So I'm taking Cocalico in this one. Next, we have Conestoga Valley visiting Elizabethtown. CV is 0-4 in the season, 0-1 in section play. E-Town is 1-3 and 0-1. CV has been outscored 174-44 this season. That's the league's highest point differential. E-Town has lost 3 straight, but I think they'll get back on track here. I'm taking the Bears. And our final Section 2 game is Ephrata, also 0-4, 0-1, going to Lampeter Strasburg. The Pioneers are 2-2 overall, 1-0 in section play. Ephrata nearly upset Lebanon last week, so they played probably their best game of the season. However, they lost 44-42. But the Mounts are still struggling on both sides of the ball, so I'm liking LS here. The Pioneers have won 2 in a row. They seem to be heating up, so I'm going to take the host Lampeter Strasburg Pioneers in this one. Moving on to Section 1. First game on the docket there is Penn Manor going to Lancaster Catholic. Comets improved to 4-0 last week by beating Hempfield. Catholic got its first win by beating Mannheim Township 31-28 in double overtime. Crusaders have Evan Purvis back under center at quarterback, and they moved the ball pretty well last week, but I think this is a bad matchup for them. I'm taking Penn Manor. Also in Section 1, we have winless McCaskey going to Hempfield. Black Knights are 2-2 in the season. It's real tough times for the Red Tornado here. They have the league's second worst offense, and they have just 182 yards rushing total in 4 weeks. I like the Black Knights here. I think Hempfield gets back on track. And moving on in Section 1, we have Mannheim Township. They're 2-2, 0-1, going to Warwick. The Warriors are also 2-2 overall and 0-1 in section play. This should be, I think, one of the week's most competitive games. Township's just a shade better than the Warriors on defense statistically, though. I think that's going to be enough to carry the day here. I like Mannheim Township. And finally, wrapping up Section 1, we have Cedar Crest, 2-2 overall, 1-0 in the section, going to undefeated Wilson. They're going to travel to West Lawn to take on the Bulldogs. Wilson is coming off its 500th victory in program history. They beat McCaskey last week to get that one, and they should get number 501 here on Friday, I think. Crest has improved a little bit, but they still got some defensive issues to address. They're giving up 351 yards per game, so I like the Bulldogs. And finally, let's go to Section 3, where Donegal, they're 2-2, and overall 1-0 in the section play. They're going to Columbia. This is the first section game for the Crimson Tide. They were playing a non-league game last week against Berks Catholic. They lost that one. That's the second really good team in 2 weeks that Columbia has played, though, and they nearly beat them both. They lost to Trinity in Week 3 and really threw a scare into the Shamrocks there. But Donegal's coming off a 28-7 win over Garden Spot. That's an upset, I think, but it puts Donegal in the driver's seat in Section 3. They're back at full strength with Chris Trimby at fullback. I like the Indians. Moving on, we got Elko 1-3 going to Garden Spot. The Spartans lost their first game, so they're 3-1. Elko got its first win last week, and Garden Spot got dominated at Donegal. But I think the only numbers that really matter here is that it's the league's second best offense in Garden Spot going against its worst defense, and Elko's got the worst defense by a lot. They're giving up 438.5 yards and 43.5 points per game. I like the Spartans here. Finally, in Section 3, we have Northern Lebanon going to Pequea Valley. Northern Lebanon is 1-3 overall. Pequea Valley is 3-1. Vikes got their first win of the season last week after losing their first 3 games by a total of 11 points. Meanwhile, Pequea Valley got dominated by Elko. They lost that one 55-36. The Braves' 3 wins have come against teams that are a combined 0-12. while Northern Lebanon's 3 losses are against teams that are 10-2. I think this is one of those games where the records are really deceptive. I'm taking Northern Lebanon. And finally, we have a non-league matchup between Anvil-Cleona, and they're going up to Tamaqua. The Little Dutchmen are 0-4. Tamaqua is 2-2. This is my upset pick of the week. I think Anvil-Cleona is due in this one. They've been competitive every week, and they've been playing against a pretty good schedule. Tamaqua is a coal region team. Their 2 wins have come against teams that are a combined 1-7, and they got blown out last week by Monhoy area. I think Anvil-Cleona breaks through here. I'm taking the Little Dutchman.